Hello from Michigan.
Today we're going to be showing you how to make meatless mostaccioli. So let's get started. Here's the noodles I'm going to be using. They're mostaccioli noodles. The only noodles I got left. Boil them, like the box said, 10 to 12 minutes. I kept on testing them, make sure they were done. They're nice and tender, somewhat chewy a little bit. Salt. The water was salted heavily. A bunch of sea salt in it. Get the noodles itself flavor. All I have left to do is add the other ingredients. Here's the noodles I use, mostaccioli. I'm using this Prego garden chunk tomato, chunk garden tomato, onion and garlic. I'm going to be adding dark red kidney beans. I'm going to be draining these. I'm going to be adding some mushrooms, mushroom stems and pieces, which I'll be draining that really well. And I'm going to add some sliced, this is optional, you don't have to add olives. If I'm going to just chop up some olives to put in it, and I don't have nothing else to put in it. So, there's all the ingredients you'll need. Even can opener. Maybe a spoon. So, let's get this cans open and drained and all that. Alright, slice up some of these olives. These are pretty big. Olives kind of weird, but I'm just going to slice them up. I don't know how many I'm going to use. I didn't drain all the juice out of it because I'm not going to use all these olives. If you don't want these olives to dry out, you can put them in the refrigerator. So I always end up eating the broken olives. Like I said, the olives are optional anyway. You don't have to add olives. I don't have any other corn or anything else to add to it, bell peppers or anything.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
I messed that one up. Don't do what I'm doing. Try to fix that or whatever. I want it to be perfect and it don't really matter. Should put the paper towel underneath the chopping board, keep it from sliding. But I didn't do that, so I might chop up a couple more olives. Well, these are no salted added mushrooms. You know it says stems and pieces on the can. There's sliced mushrooms in here. Well, to drain them, pop top. All I'll do is pop top on it, let that fall down in there, and then squeeze all the moisture, all the juice out of the mushrooms. You don't want the juice. I'm gonna go through the mushrooms, and there's like any big pieces, like a full whole mushroom like that, I'll probably cut down. It's like a huge mushroom that you don't want in there. You chop this up.
Let's begin now.
Well, that's it for the olives and mushrooms. One thing left I really have to do is open a jar of sauce, add the stuff in it, and heat the sauce up on the stove. I'll be back to show you that part. I'm going to put some unsalted butter, that European. It's actually good butter. Expensive, but it's worth it. I'm going to saute the mushrooms and black olives a little bit. Get rid of some of the moisture. It is marked on here. Probably a tablespoon, and if I need more, I'll add more. I'm also heating up the pan on like medium high. Just get the pan warmed up a little bit because it was cold. Turn it down to like medium. Tablespoon of butter. Black olives and mushrooms. A little bit of salt with unsalted butter, and mushrooms are not salted, so not looking to color the mushrooms or anything, brown them up, then they won't get brown anyway because of the moisture from being canned. It'll take too long to get them caramelized or whatever. I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper. Don't have any fresh out of the ground or anything right now, so I'm using whatever I have. Got them on like medium-low heat. There you go. No color on them. There might be a little bit of color to them, but I'm turning this down to low. I'll keep stirring them so they don't burn. And I gotta drain the kidney beans and add that to it, so I'll be back. Alright, here's the drained kidney beans. Add that to it. Just trying to warm up the stuff. That's all I'm really doing. I'm going to put a little bit more butter in it. Maybe some olive oil. About half of a teaspoon. Got a little bit of olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil. I know you're not supposed to cook with it, but it's all I have for oil. I'm just going to put a little bit in here. But there's like no meat, so I need a little bit more fat content. And I'll add the rest of it. Not much left in here anyway. We'll use this up. There's probably a couple tablespoons of oil left in this container. I gotta recycle this bottle now, wash it out, recycle it. Just butter melted in here. Turn the heat back on medium. Medium high. Not heating up fast enough. Got some garlic. It's like already smashed up. I think it says like 1 tablespoon is 1 clove. So I don't know, I'm not measuring it out. I'm just putting it in here. I use this up anyway. I like garlic. Probably 2 cloves maybe. Mix the garlic up. It smells so good. Garlic, mushrooms, black olives. You'd think it wouldn't go together, but it does. The same thing, you put black olives and mushrooms on pizza. So, garlic, butter, olive oil. I don't think it's time for the sauce. I don't think I'm going to add any other seasoning to it. Maybe a little bit more black pepper. I don't have any onions or bell peppers or anything else to add to it. So, all you can really do is add the sauce. I always shake up the sauce really well, because the lid usually gets coated in sauce. It's like dried out from them being sealed. I don't have any tricks opening the sauce. You know, some people do that. That sometimes works, sometimes it don't. Hopefully it's easy open, which it is. See, lid's nice and clean. Now caked on sauce. Has a lot of tomato, garlic, and onion smell to it. And it's, use a spoon. I'm pouring it in here that way it doesn't splatter everywhere. Mix this up. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of water to this to get all the sauce out of it. I'm going to be simmering the sauce, so it doesn't really matter how much. But added water, you can see. Give this a nice shake, get all the sauce out of it. Like I said, I'm going to be simmering the sauce for 20 minutes maybe. Get all the flavors into the sauce. And there, sauce is empty. All the sauce I used, even what's on the lid. Alright, I'm gonna mix this together. Might look soupy. Like I said, I'm gonna simmer it for a little bit to get the flavors of the mushrooms and black olives into the actual sauce. And I think there is like chunks of tomatoes in here that I want to try to like cook down a little bit more. A little bit, so actually the sauce is not really too bad. So all I'm going to do is heat this up, head it on low, turn it back down to medium, warm it up. The reason why I have the noodles sitting out, draining, is I don't like moisture into the noodles. It makes the sauce like really watery. So I'm going to simmer this up. I'm going to keep stirring it, make sure it doesn't splatter sauce everywhere, because it will semi-boil a little bit. And then when I'm done simmering this, I'm going to add the noodles, and I'll be back to show you the finished product and maybe a taste test at the end of the video, so stay tuned. So I'm just going to simmer this and watch it, taste it, make sure it doesn't need any more salt, seasoning, garlic, all that kind of other stuff. Alright, I didn't exactly cook the sauce for 20 minutes. I was just smashing down the beans to get the starch out, and I did thicken up the sauce a lot. Basically that's what I'm looking for, nice and thick. Some of the moisture from the The moisture from the water I added to it from clearing out the jar did somewhat evaporate a little bit. I did taste it, tastes fine. I don't know what else I could really add to it. I don't really hit it. Got a bunch of seasonings in here, but I don't know. Sauce is nice and thick. So it, you know, stands it by itself almost. And you can scrape to the bottom. You can see the bottom of the pan. So okay, it's done. You take your well-drained noodles that have been sitting out, dried out. Not dried out, but there's like no moisture to the noodles at all anymore. They're still sticky. So hopefully this turns out. At least I can try one. Try a little bit with the sauce, see if it tastes any good or not. Whatever's gonna have to do. Those are really sticky. I don't want to break the noodles. You can tell they're real drained. I'm going to turn the heat off. It's already too hot anyway, so I don't want to burn it. Carefully stir this together, covering up the sauce, the noodles. That's pretty much about it. There's not really much left to it. Wish there could have been more sauce, but all I'm going to do is stir this up, plate it up. I'll be back for, I guess, the final taste test. Alright, get my fancy plate out. Had to wash it because it was like dirty on top of the refrigerator. I haven't used it in probably 3.5 years. Just gonna get a couple scoops. It's a big bowl. I don't need a whole lot. So, let's scoop here. I didn't get nothing on the edge this time. Take a little bit of parsley, just for color. Yeah, that's sticking to the plate. Here's some Parmesan cheese. It's optional. You don't have to add it. I'll just add a little bit to it. Let's get a close-up. That's good. I got a thumbnail. Well, it's time for the taste test. It's hopefully cooled off enough. And then I got plenty of leftovers, so I'm gonna let that cool down. Put it in the fridge and container. I guess I'll eat that lunch, dinner for the next probably a couple of days or so. Taste test time. Now I'm gonna do a taste test. I don't feel like holding this bowl up here. I don't have a table down here to do eating video. I'd do that upstairs or something maybe. So we get a noodle, a little bit of everything. You probably can't really see that well. Black olive, mushrooms, noodle, sauce, cheese. Let's give this a try, see if it's actually any good or not. Not too bad. I might add a little bit more cheese. That mix the cheese in a little bit. It's not too bad. I do like it. Tomato sauce is on the sweet side a little bit. I'm not really a fan of it too much, but so I'll still eat it. It is my dinner, so not too bad, I guess, for finding stuff in the pantry and making dinner. Definitely needs more cheese. Put that plate down. It's heavy. Not exactly light plate. So enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button for more videos. And then my other channel, I guess I'll go upstairs and eat the rest of that. I have to figure out how to, whatever. Peace out.